Okay, hold on.
Do you have another thing loaded up?
No, Google bits. Give me a second. Maybe that's the bit. That'll be the bit.
Oh,
I'll Google a bit and I'll do the first bit I find. How about that?
Okay, sure. Funny bits to
to
do.
do.
Funny
Funny
bits to do. 45 hilarious ideas and things to do.
I'll just do this. I'll just go through them. I'll just go through them as part of the intro bit. Okay, how about that?
Okay. Oh, dude, wait. Bringing a fishing pole to an aquarium is really
That's
funny.
actually really
Actually, really funny. Call someone and tell them you can't talk. Wait, that's also funny. You get so angry.
I would get so upset.
If I was just like,
sorry, I can't talk.
Hey, man. Yeah, sorry, I can't talk right now. You just go, what the hell? And I hang up on you. Follow a friend around for the entire day.
Just like stalk them. That's stalking.
That would be really funny if you stalked someone that we knew.
Go streaking. That's it.
Oh, there's the bit.
bit.
There's the bit. All right, cool. We're doing that.
Streaking?
You're doing that.
I'm gonna streak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna do that. Ready?
I don't, yeah.
All right. Go ahead, man. Ah! Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another video. My name is one of... I lost steam.
How many
I lost
ones
steam. I
are
spoke
there?
too fast. I spoke
One of
too
how
fast.
many?
One.
101.
I'm one of one, but you can call me 7. This is Vince.
Hey, I'm back.
We did the bit already.
The bit's already there.
What more do you want from him?
Guys, I'm trying. I've done so many bits. There are how many videos of us together in here? I've done a lot of bits.
We've done a lot of bits.
I've done a lot of bits. I'm running
You've not
out.
repeated a bit.
Not yet.
And
I never will.
I guess there have been a couple times we're gonna find this clip years in the future.
And I will be proven wrong. Yes, 100%. But ideally, I get a fresh bit.
Yeah, ideally you get a fresh bit every time.
I will Google bits if that's what it takes.
Yeah, I mean that was this.
That was this bit. Correct. But like actually good bits, and I will tell you I Googled them.
Yeah, exactly. You guys will never know. No.
I'll probably tell you guys afterwards.
Yeah.
I probably will.
But now we have finished episode 2, which we keep getting the name wrong. We kept saying Flux. Episode 2, the second part of the DLC is called Refuge, and
First Flux?
Yeah, first was Flux.
Why
we kept calling it Flux.
Why don't they switch them? The Flux only comes in episode 2.
I think it's called Flux because it's like everything leading up to this this entropic wave that like shows up.
That's stupid.
I think it
makes sense to the actual episode.
Hey man,
screw you, Citizen
take it up with the developers. Take it up with the
shout out to you guys, by the way.
You guys are baller.
This game's actually really cool.
But Vince has a bone to pick with you. Jump over the edge.
Ignore that. You can fix that in post.
It's too... No, we can't.
No?
I'm leaving it in. It's too early for us to be tripping over our words. Do you remember what happened last episode?
Wasn't great. Even to say they don't know what. Don't know
they
that.
They didn't know.
No, that was what they were doing to you. Going to use to make the draw.
One more time.
Yeah.
Havenage say they didn't know that was what they were going to use to make the draw. And who knows, maybe Celis pulled the wool over their eyes, but doesn't...
So the reason we're here, by the way, to explain this, is because the final episode says that all other endings and all other routes are gone.
Yeah.
You can't complete them after you
There will be no going back for real.
A point of no return. So we figured we'd send off Ankita and Bliss.
Because this is the last ending that we have.
Yeah. And then
everything else we've seen.
Yep.
Well, supposedly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, right?
Pretty sure we got everybody else.
I mean, it just feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
So many of them.
Pretty sure everybody else got their endings satisfied.
Yeah, so that means it's just Ankita and Bliss, and that means we're not going with them.
Which is a shame.
Which makes me sad.
I really wanted to.
I wanted to as well, but like, what are you gonna do about it, right?
Great or good.
So we grab this 4, we put it here, and we just run it, right?
Just be sad.
We just. I mean, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Working on Amber again is a joy. You know every inch of this hull. After all, you fitted half of it.
We did indeed.
Amber looks better than she ever has before. Bliss has done an incredible job of cleaning up the hull, and despite the exterior changes being limited, she has the impression of being lighter, somehow sleeker than before. Moritz drifts by. He has been loading up the final equipment onto Amber. It turns out Ankita will be taking her weapons, but packed and ready to sell at the first starboard belt port she hits.
Sure.
But now that Moritz is done, he seems in a kind of daze, floating back and forth aimlessly.
Oh, Maurice does come with us, right?
No, he's staying here to run the bay.
Without anyone.
Yeah, you okay, Moritz? What's that? He turns, oh, right, yeah. Packed and stacked.
Fuck yeah,
he smiles a weak smile. Was hoping Miss Cassetta would let me keep a warhead. I always forget that Ankita's last name is Cassetta.
Great name.
Cassetta. Yeah. What do you... Wait.
Why do you want a warhead, man?
Yeah.
Like that ass. What do you need a warhead for?
I don't know.
Dude, I actually
respect that. It just might be a cool thing to have.
I respect that a shitload. Oh my god.
Hey, Sleeper. Did you know Bliss was leaving? You understand now. She told him that's why he's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. He nods distractedly. She said this place is mine. He looks up around the bay like it is suddenly some vast space he doesn't know what to do with. You'll do a great job.
Yeah.
You'll do a great job. Hey, thanks. I appreciate you saying that. Not many people believed in me before now. First Bliss, then you. A dark look suddenly crosses his face. Hey, Sleeper. There was something Bliss said. He meets your eye. Are you going too? Before he can answer, Ankita glides into the bay, a massive crate on her shoulder.
Sleeper, you coming or what?
Bliss is
Bliss is already on board.
She stops by the terminal, holding herself in place. Moritz looks at her with a dazed expression. You look at Ankita. She's keeping it together now. She's packed all those bad feelings down someplace where you'll never see them and built a tough foundation on top. She may not be a mercenary anymore, but you imagine most people would think twice before trying to cross her.
Well?
She looks at you.
I'm not eager to spend another moment of my time on this station unless I have to.
She pauses, looking between you and Moritz.
I'll give you a minute.
And she kicks off with the crate, taking it to the end of the bay where the amber sits docked. You look back at Moritz.
Staying.
We're staying. Moritz looks like he might pass out. Sleeper, are you sure? Are you doing this for me?
I'm saying for me seems a little...
It's a little aggressive.
Yeah.
It's kind of true, but also, like, it's not like we wouldn't help.
Yeah. I'll say the bay needs me.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
The bay needs me, man. We got you. Couldn't leave me alone with the place in the end, huh? I mean, we trust you, but also, like, you know, it's hard to run a bay alone.
Yeah.
Ankita comes back across the bay, the final crate stowed.
You staying then, Sleeper?
Oh, I hope Bliss comes out.
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna be really sad.
Staying,
yeah.
Well, okay then. One less mouth to feed. Look, Sleeper, I'm not gonna go back over everything that happened. I'm trying to put that behind me, but hope you find what you're looking for here.
She smiles and kicks off, gliding to the ambergris and the starward belt beyond.
Maybe that's better for Ankita, the fact we're not going to remind her of... You know, maybe this is better for her in the end.
I know that we had a thing in, like, when this was presented to us where we were like, maybe we can help her find real closure.
Yeah.
And I still think that that's the case, but this is easier.
Yeah.
You both watch in silence as Amber's drives fire up. Guess this is our place now, says Moritz, the weight of everything suddenly hitting him. You know, it's crazy. I thought that Bliss would, like, at least come out to say bye.
I guess not, which is a little bit of a shame.
Well, because we did so much with her. Yeah. You know? It's not like, I definitely don't think that she's not grateful. That's not in her character.
No, she just wants to get out.
Maybe it's harder to say goodbye type thing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I guess so.
I guess so, man. That's cool. You both stay for a while to watch Amber and Bliss and Ankita leave, and then Moritz goes to the racks to finally implement a new organizational system, and you head out, promising to be back to check on things soon. As you glide around the soft curve of the hub, you catch glimpses of the distant stars flickering through the windows. They are beautiful, it's true, but by now you think of them as a distraction. In your time on the Eye, you've realized there's nothing out there waiting for you. No fresh starts, and no bright futures, just a whole load of problems you haven't found yet. No, your place is here, among the people you know and the problems you know. You wish Ankita and Bliss the best of luck out in the belt. But as you do, you focus on the Eye, on the vast spinning rim that rotates around its hub, on its buildings and flashing lights, on its people and places. This is your home, and for now, it contains all the futures you need. Wow, how, it feels a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, that one didn't feel like super. I don't know. I
guess there's
all
probably
of the endings that where we stay behind.
Yeah,
that one felt like very. I didn't like that one.
I guess
that's like my lowest ranking.
I think it's probably because of the impermanence of it. Do you know what I mean? The sidereal horizon, that's like a huge undertaking. This is just was supposed to be 3. 2 people and a ship.
Yeah.
And you've got massive history with Ankita, and like you have a fair amount of history with Bliss, but at the end of the day, they're both somewhat like drifters.
Yeah.
Right? Like one is a mercenary and one is a shipwright.
Yeah.
There's not much really intense there because we went through a lot with Ankita, and that was really traumatic.
Yeah.
And with Bliss, it was just a lot of like, you scratch my back and I scratch yours, and we're better for it. And it's a lot of like camaraderie of like doing all this work together.
Yeah.
But I think I understand why staying with regards to this ending, staying on the Eye is so. It's not important. It's just such a simple decision. Like there's no fireworks. Yeah, there's no fanfare. It's just very simple. I think as much as I would have liked something deeper and bigger, I'm kind of okay with this.
Yeah. I mean, it does fit both their characters because both of them are like, they don't try to fix what they have. They just try to leave it behind to start fresh. Yeah. Like that's what those two, like despite Lemina, they're like,
well, I guess that's because
same,
they both complement each other in that way. Because like she's got her ex.
Yeah.
She's got her ex.
Never mentions it other than like,
probably because it was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, stole a crap ton of money from us. And then on Keto, I mean, we know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. So they're both not really ready to face the past, and they're just kind of escaping it.
Yeah, for sure. There's probably a world out there where Ashton is alive and Ankita's dead.
Maybe. I don't know.
But, that's not our reality.
No.
Next round is yours. Moritz arrives at the table with a couple of steel drink canisters, typical of the hub's only bar, the Gimbal Lounge. He settles into the webbing beside the table and clunks them down onto the magnetic table. This place, you have decided, is ridiculous. A rapidly spinning, cavernous sphere, the gimbal's weak gravity, just like the gravity at the eye's rim, is created by its gut-wrenching rotation. The interior surface of the sphere is the gimbal's floor,
it's rotating in there,
which descends towards the equator where one long bar loops around the entire circumference. Tumbling out from that central ring are an array of booths and seating arrangements, equipped with all kinds of harnesses and webbing to keep customers in place. Those harnesses are there because the gimbal doesn't quite spin up fast enough, and you watch as the clientele bounce towards the bar in lazy arcs, or shift from table to table with graceful leaps. "What are you thinking?" asks Moritz, noticing you staring out into the gimbal.
That's
How
weird,
this place is. Yeah, Bliss never used to like coming here. So, Sleeper, you sticking around?
I got things to take
care of. Yeah, thought you might. Moritz rubs the back of his head. One cycle at a time, that's how we'll take it. Nice and easy. You aren't sure if he's talking to himself or you. We'll make it.
Yeah.
We'll make it. He lifts his drink for a toast. To the next cycle, he pronounces, and knocks it back. Later, when you finally leave the gimbal, Moritz is still laughing. You help him out of the spinning gimbal and back into the hub, sending him on his way home to the bay. Then you pause for a moment to watch the stars as they spin around the eye. You smile to yourself and think of Bliss and Ankita out there somewhere among those points of light. To the next cycle.
All right.
Well, that's it. If we just take a quick trip up and down the eye, there is nothing left here tying us. No endings, no loose ends. We've just made this place a home. We have multiple homes all across the eye. We know its people. We've sent its people off. We've helped people. We've made memories, good and bad. And we've done so many things, both in the dataverse and in reality. We freed ourselves of the yoke of SNARP, and now all we have left to do
is free the people from the flux.
Yeah, I guess.
Shadow.
Oh man, we almost had a whole I
don't know what it is.
A nail in the coffin.
They haven't explained what this little worm is.
They've done their best, and I guess there's still yet more to be revealed, right? Purge, that's scary.
Or it's really nice,
Really?
Yeah.
That's what you think? Cool. Once you send the data, episode Purge and the final series of events on the Eye will begin. After this point, you will not be able to return to complete other drives or find other endings. Make sure you are ready. Vince, are we ready?
Yeah.
No, we're not. This data is a ticking time bomb. Once it is sent, there's no going back. Peaks, relays, pings a confirmation. The data is sent. Now all you can do is wait for the response.
You imagine you're just like, all right, wait 5 cycles. Like, all right,
come
on.
Man, what are we gonna do with 5 cycles?
Nothing to do.
With the data sent, the only thing to do is wait. As you do, you imagine Helene receiving the data, perhaps in the middle of some Havenage council meeting. You think of her trembling hands as she slips out of the room to read it. Her reaction? You can't predict. You imagine Sol, too, one of his crew finding him in some corner of the Pilgrim Seed, overseeing the modifications that will turn it into an ark. Those sharp eyes scanning the data, looking for a way to proceed. The wait draws out, and to pass the time, you watch the activity beyond the edge of the eye, the scrap shuttles pulling components from the now abandoned cordon, and the supply skiffs making runs between the flotilla ships. It isn't long before you hear the chirping of one of Helene's now familiar drones approaching the viewing platform, and then Helene herself strides into the room. Where did you get this, Sleeper? Helene holds up a slate scrolling with streams of flux data she enters. I need to know your source.
I mean, does it matter?
No. Are we just that person to say, hello to you too?
No.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's where you are wrong. Helene shakes her head. I need this data authenticated. I can't just... She pauses and pushes her hair back out of her face. This is a lot to take in. A shadow protocol inside the flux? The system's CAN channel starting up? A total collapse of the eye? She rubs her forehead. If I bring this to the council, they'll...
We don't really know what they'll do.
Stay silent?
Yeah, we don't really know.
Do you know what has been happening within Havenage, Sleeper? She looks away, out at the flotilla. Since the refugee ship started arriving, things have changed. It's chaos. No one can settle on a single issue. There is division at every vote. But in the division, only one group prospers, the hardliners, because as each counselor gets tired of the arguments, gets tired of compromise, they become more attracted to the easy answers. The flotilla is to blame. The refugees are opportunists. The eye must be defended. She shakes her head. And now you are telling me they brought something to the eye that will cause its collapse.
But they didn't bring it.
It's just
echoing across.
It doesn't matter, Sleeper. That is all the counselors will hear. She closes her eyes, a hand to her temple. Many of them already presume that the refugees are somehow to blame.
Do you fucking... Did someone say refugees?
Soul clanks into the docking bay, grinning at the situation.
Speak of the devil, and, well, here I am.
Oh, his suit hisses as he settles on his cane. Helene glances between the two of you, uncertain if she has been drawn into some elaborate plan. Soul holds out a hand to her.
So,
he nods.
I believe we have spoken remotely while the cordon was still up.
Oh, wait. I sent both of you the data.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
He raises an eyebrow.
Evidence of our mutual inevitable destruction is not much of an olive branch, but I'll take it.
I'm not... oh, wow, she blurts this out. I'm not Havenage, Helene blurts out, then corrects herself. What I mean to say is, no one person represents Havenage. That's the idea. I did not support the cordon, and I did not support your quarantine.
Well then...
Soul glances at you.
Anyone mind if I get myself up to speed here?
He pauses, but you get the feeling he isn't expecting an answer.
1. The flux events, the very same destabilizing waves that collapsed the colonies on the moons of Ember, have reached the station.
He holds up a stubby finger.
2. According to data Sleeper provided, these events are acting as a cover for some kind of intrusive protocol, which is causing the real damage.
A second finger joins the first.
3. This shadow protocol will do the very same thing it did to Ember's song, Step and Hearth, and quickly. In short, it'll shut down everything keeping this place alive.
A third finger pops up.
4, and this is my favorite. We have no idea who or what is doing this, and why.
Soul's final finger joins the other 3.
Is that about the total of it all?
There's also another flux event coming.
Yeah, maybe we should make everyone aware of that.
Of course there is.
Soul smiles thinly. Sounds... Helene pauses, searching for words. Intimidating. Helene turns to Soul. Did you manage to put up any kind of resistance on Ember's hearth? Soul shakes his head.
That's why we are here. The Pilgrim Seed was the biggest ship to make it out unscathed. I suppose we didn't have this data. We didn't know what was eating up the systems. We all thought it was the flux.
Helene looks at you. And I imagine you, Sleeper, and whoever helped you uncover this might be able to figure out a countermeasure? We can try.
That's about it.
Helene nods approval. Okay, so that's the start of it.
If you'll forgive me, part of why I was able to save as many as I could on Ember's hearth was that I gave up hope early.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah.
Soul shifts his way to suit hissing.
There are endless strategy meets system reboots, tests, and trials, but I just got on with working on the Pilgrim Seed, with getting people on board, so when the second and the third and the rest of the flux events hit, we were ready to go.
So I'm seeing a way where he starts getting ready to evacuate us
Yes.
while we work on a countermeasure.
Yeah.
I hope that's how it goes.
So, if I can offer you some advice, Miss Not Havenage, it is to give up on that line of thought you have, that hope, and to start the evacuation now.
Wow.
Right this cycle.
Soul looks out of the observation deck towards the Pilgrim Seed.
I've already started the process of converting the remaining volume of the Pilgrim Seed for human habitation. With Havenage resources, I dare say we could finish the job with time to spare.
Soul scratches at his beard.
I know it's hard, and I know it's sudden, but you have to give up hope. We have to run. There will be no heroes here. Just those that keep living and those that don't.
Helene listens in silence, making calculations. She looks out at the bulk of the Pilgrim Seed, which, despite all its vastness, is dwarfed by the eye as a whole. Something flickers in her eyes. She opens her mouth to speak. She stops, frozen. Let me think. I need a moment. Helene paces, and as you watch her, you realize how young she is, and how lost she is in the systems and protocols she has to navigate. You can almost see the strings and ties that bind her, glinting like webs in the wide space of the observation platform.
We purge the shadow protocol.
Purge the shadow protocol.
Purge it!
Everything that we have done has led up to a final stand to preserve the eye.
Yeah, and all it stands for.
If we are to go down doing this...
Dude, I'm down.
I'm so down.
I'm so down to go down swinging against it. Fuck yeah.
We purge the shadow protocol. Helene stops pacing. But with what resources? The data you sent me, this thing is a shadow. Uncontrollable, untraceable. Actually, that's where you're wrong. I hope that Peak shows up. Perhaps with a full contingent of the Havenage Systems Department, but that would require hundreds of work orders to be overlooked. Maintenance schedules abandoned. Getting that through the council? Would that even be possible?
Unless we had a bunch of people that could help work on stuff.
She glances at Sol, who's patiently watching, patiently listening.
We got to try. I don't know if them is Havenage or if it's Sol.
We have to try.
We have to try.
I will take this to the council. Force them to listen. Force them to act. You both jump as someone loudly clears their throat nearby. Your eyes jump to the dark entryway that Helene emerged from just minutes ago. Fang.
Or new. Dude, could you imagine? No!
Whoa!
Someone new.
No!
Oh, he's a hardline.
He's a hardliner!
Oh. You want me this little scumbag?
No, I can do it.
Yeah?
I can do it. What a cozy little meeting this is. A man steps from the shadows dressed in the same style of Havenage overalls as Helene. And I must say, that is some very incendiary rhetoric you are using, Counselor Helene.
We just shoot him right now.
Yeah, right? You glance at Helene and her face drops immediately. Kemp.
God, what a gross name.
She curses under her breath.
Like, actually, though.
Sol shifts his weight on his cane, but otherwise remains still like a casual observer. Plotting against Havenage with an interloper. Everyone will be so disappointed. Kemp smiles a bright smile. Some of the counselors had such high hopes for our youngest member. I, of course, never let novelty distract from the importance of experience. Helene stares daggers at Kemp. Enough of this petty shit, Kemp. You need to see this. She holds out her slate with an outstretched arm. The games are over. No more point scoring, no more lobbying. You and your hardliners need to stop. This is something real. Kemp calmly takes the slate and prods the screen, scrolling through the flux data. His face betrays nothing, but you see some complex calculation flickering in his sharp eyes. Kemp lowers the slate slowly and smiles at Helene. And what do you think this shows? Don't play games. You can read. The flux is a carrier signal for some shadow protocol, most likely corporate in nature. Maybe it's Solheim re-emerging to claim their station. Maybe it's a takeover. But either way, the station is under threat. You're right about that, but the rest? Conjecture. Kemp rubs their chin. What we have is a virus in our systems which emerged precisely when the flotilla arrived. In fact, it times in perfectly with the mysterious event that freed them. So what I see is a hostile cyber warfare attack, instigated by dissidents that fled Ember's moons after committing terrorist attacks on their own soil. That is the order of the facts. Nothing more and nothing less. Facts I'll be happy to present to the council. Kemp tightens his grip on the slate. You think that's the only copy of that data, you sanctimonious shit? No, I don't. But who do you think they will listen to, Helene? Especially after I tell everyone about this little clandestine meeting. You couldn't win power by Havenage's systems, by our laws, so you resort to this. The law is with me. It is as simple as that. He gestures, and out of the shadows, 2 Havenage security officers appear.
Ooh, okay. Now, no need for that.
Sol suddenly speaks up. His silence had meant Kemp had stopped paying attention, but now you notice he has backup of his own. A group of his crew are standing at the edges of the room. They are carrying long, boxy guns. You've never seen anything like them on the eye. Glossy XPR logos glint along their barrels. These are Esch's guns. Kemp freezes, and the officers hesitate, holding back in the doorway. Be careful there, outsider. Kill me, and Havenage will never forget. Sol waves a hand at him.
Sol, kill that guy.
Sol, you should kill that guy.
Yeah.
No one's killing anyone, so let's calm down.
Sol scratches his beard.
But,
He's always scratching
yeah,
his beard.
he is. But I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Helene glances at him, and he gives her a gentle nod.
And you'll leave your colleague here with me. We haven't finished our conversation.
Kemp laughs and shakes his head. You are finished, Helene. The council will never allow you back after this. Then he turns and walks out of the observation deck, taking his officers with him.
I think we should commit terrorism.
I think we should kill that guy.
I think we should commit terrorism.
I think that we should 100% kill that guy.
Yeah.
I think that we should throttle that guy with our own metallic arms.
I think we should use that little strong hand.
Yeah, the one on Soul's back. Yeah. We should actually ask Soul if we can borrow it.
Yeah.
And then kill him with it. Not Soul, sorry. Kemp.
Yeah, no, of course.
No, I would never.
I could never. Actually,
no, he'd kill me. Easy. No. I bet you he just his suit seizes up and it just takes control of his body. Just kills him. 100%.
I'm down for that.
You all pause to catch your breath. Helene looks ready to collapse. Don't blame you, Helene. Soul flexes inside his suit, nodding at his crew to check that Kemp has truly fully retreated. Soul wrenches part of his suit back into place, grimacing.
Your friends leave a lot to be desired.
He shoots a glance at Helene.
Seems like support for the evacuation might be a hard ask.
Helene doesn't respond. She stares out at the pilgrim seed once more, trying to process what's in front of her. She sighs and turns back to you both. You know, it's crazy because because of the lines on Helene's face, I always thought that she was older. No, she's just so tired.
Yeah, correct.
And like worn by having to be the youngest member of the Havenage Council. Good lord. I won't call for an evacuation. Maybe that is a fatal mistake, but I can't do it.
No, I understand.
No. Yeah, I understand. But I won't block it either. If people want to leave, Havenage will let them. This is what I will propose to the council. If they let me speak.
You have to do more. It's kind of aggressive, and we also know she probably can't.
I mean, what about that artistic description of all of the things that are tying her down?
Yeah, right?
Was that all for nothing? Crap. But this is desperate. That's the thing, right? This is something that no one has...
I think that she knows. I think she understands.
You have to try?
Yeah.
Yeah. She nods at you and Soul and turns to leave. Soul is quiet. He scratches at his beard.
Good luck.
He offers to the departing Helene, but she does not respond. He leans on his cane.
I'll be honest with you, Sleeper. None of this changes anything for me. Pilgrim Seed will be going in a handful of cycles, whether Havenage wants it or not.
How long?
Honestly, as soon as we're ready. I'm not eager to run down the clock to the last cycle.
Soul puts a hand on your shoulder.
There's a berth for you and for any you can gather, Sleeper. That much I owe you.
And Helene?
I wouldn't hold out much hope of her coming around, Sleeper. She's too tied up in all this. I won't let her leave even if she wants to.
Oh my god.
Hell, I'd say the same about you, but you have a habit of proving me wrong. My crew will take me from here. Don't you worry. Oh, and thank you, Sleeper, for sending the data. I appreciate the extra info, and I'll see if it can help us shore up the Pilgrim Seed against any future Flux events.
Dude, there's a part of me that is like...
This isn't what I wanted at all.
No, this is fine. This is fine. I feel like there is a depth to Helene. We've been saying Helene, but is it really just Helen?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Helene. There's an E at the end.
Yeah, I know, but we had, Peter?
Yeah, but come on.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean, Pet R?
Regardless, I feel like this has given us I think the most depth out of any DLC character.
Yeah.
At least for Soul and for Helene.
Yeah, I mean, it's good because this is a DLC. There should be a good amount of depth for it.
Yeah, 100%. You know? But I guess we haven't gotten to really see that much more of the other captains of the Flotilla.
No.
But this was cool. Yeah. I thought this was
glad
really
they were able
neat.
to actually come together and not just nah, I'm not going for it.
Yeah.
If we had you back on Ember's Hearth.
Oh my god, he pauses, suddenly losing his appetite for discussing the past.
Of course, we're gonna need all the help we can get. If you can spare some time, come to the Pilgrim Seed, help me get it ready, bring others. There's a future to be earned here, cycle by cycle. We will be leaving as soon as we're able. If you want to help us get there faster, well, you'd be welcome. Well, just don't keep me waiting.
And he limps off towards his waiting crew. You pause for a moment to let your thoughts catch up. Peak will want to hear about all this. They should be your first port of call.
Yeah. You drive, talk to Pete,
evacuate the eye.
No, we have to be able to do more.
Let's see, Pilgrim Seed. So, Pilgrim Prep. Is there enough? Let's see. We'll take the majority of the evacuees off the eye, but is there enough time to settle them all? Berth refitting and supply hauling.
To get more stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm scared to do that one out of the fear that it might block us into a route that we don't want. You know what I mean?
Let's see what Peak has to offer first. As you enter the climbing briar, you immediately have to jump aside as Ash, lugging a massive crate across the cargo bay, pushes past you, grunting an apology as she does.
I like grunt back as an option.
You wanna?
A little bit.
No, how about we just...
okay.
Reminds me of when we met.
Sure.
Ash sniffs and doesn't look back. As you turn back to the bay, Peak pushes past too. Sorry, Sleeper, just a second. Peak rushes to catch up with Ash. Put that down. Please, Ash. But she doesn't respond to their urging. We can't leave, not yet. Please, I'm the only one here who can... The crate drops, the sound of its impact echoing around the bay like thunder.
Can do what, Peak?
Her eyes are burning with anger, a very familiar look for her.
Save this place? Are you still that naive? We are running, Peak. We are running because this thing cannot be stopped. It can be stopped at XPR, our home. Why would we stay to stop it here?
Because we can, Ash. We can give these people a chance.
Like they gave the refugees a chance? No, Peak, this is not on us. We barely made it out of XPR. I worked for years to escape, now you want to throw it all away? I left everything behind. My mother, my friends, to take you out of that place.
She turns and slams her hand onto the crate, breathing hard.
We go. That's the end of it.
Can this not be a discussion? This isn't how this works, Ash. Peak turns away. You feel unsure what to do, but you know now is not the time for outside arguments. This is between them. Peak crosses the bay back towards you. I'm sorry you had to see that, Sleeper. Let's talk upstairs. Peak leads you to the entry ladder, taking you up out of the bay and into the habitation level of the ship. You follow them through the tight corridors, noticing the handwritten notes, the clutter, the repairs. The signs of a home. Here, sit. Peak gestures to the broad mess table with its curved couches, and you slide in on one side. Peak sits opposite. They brush their hair out of their eyes and take a deep breath. So, how did it go? What did they say? I've been waiting all cycle. We're gonna have to do all of it, right?
Yeah,
to start with Helene.
yeah.
Peak listens nervously as you explain how Helene said she will support your efforts to find a countermeasure for the Shadow Protocol. Okay. That sounds good, much better than I was hoping, but what about the Council? Are they behind that? Or will she operate alone?
Yeah.
Other side of the coin. Peak looks increasingly troubled as you tell them about the hardline Counselor Kemp's sudden appearance. Damn, then Helene's going to have problems of her own to deal with. Looks like we won't be able to count on anything from Havenage. What stopped Kemp from arresting her?
About that.
Peak rolls their eyes. Of course. Those are the guns Ash managed to smuggle through the refugees, the one she didn't tell us about. Another thing that's on us.
I tried to ask her about it. What's on us?
Ash is standing quietly in the doorway listening. You don't know how long she's been there for. Peak looks up at her with tired eyes. Oh, yeah, sorry, this is me, yeah. Sleeper found the weapons you smuggled from XPR. Ash freezes. She glances between you and Peak, as if this might be some elaborate joke.
Flotilla used them?
Ash moves out of the doorway and enters the room.
What happened?
Peak interrupts. Be thankful that they didn't. They used them as a threat. That is all.
Good.
You get the feeling that she knows Peak will not approve. Peak goes to speak and then decides not to take the bait. They glance at you. I'm sure you've heard enough of us arguing this cycle, Sleeper. Peak shoots a look at Ash. But our introduction of those weapons into the equation are just another reason why we cannot simply run away. Ash looks away but says nothing. She surely knows they cannot absolve themselves of responsibility here. So what is motivating her? You realize that she still might be trying to protect Peak, even from themselves. Suddenly, a shrill beeping fills the room, and Peak pulls out their slate to silence it. But as they do, they freeze, their finger hovering above the screen, the beeping continuing its insistent pulse.
For the class, please.
What? Peak doesn't seem to hear you. They blink with glazed eyes at the slate. Then they let out a long exhale and tap the screen. The bleeping shuts off, leaving a ringing silence behind.
Planning to explain?
12 cycles. Peak looks vacantly up at you both. 12 cycles until the next Flux event. They shake their head.
That many?
That is
easy.
That's 60 dice.
That's so many.
That's so many opportunities. I've been using the arrays on the Briar to look towards the center of the system to approximately where the can channel should be. Just this moment, they detected a signal from the inner system. Given the distance and pattern of previous Flux events, we have 12 cycles before it reaches the eye. The silence in the room is deafening. 12 cycles, that's it, before a second wave hits, and this place... Peak interrupts your thoughts. We start now. That's the end of it. Peak stands up to face Ash. You want to take the Briar and run, Ash? That's on you, but I won't do it. They take a deep breath. I'll be here, Sleeper, for every cycle it takes, trying to find a solution. I'll need your help. Their eyes meet yours, and you see a wild desperation flickering there. We will find something. The sooner we have a plan, the better. If it takes us 12 cycles to fix this thing, it'll be too late. Peak's eyes flash with determination. They reach for a slate and pass it to you, so we can keep in touch. You pocket the thin handheld terminal, and Ash? Peak starts, but she is gone, storming down the corridors of the ship on a path to who knows where. You know from experience that it is impossible to outrun your fears. But you get a sense that Ash will try anyway. Peak rubs the red eye, staring after Ash. Maybe I'll take a moment before we start. They smile weakly, tears of exhaustion gathering in their eyes. See you back here soon, okay? And you slip from the corridor. You slip from the room into the corridor. Peak's quiet sob somehow carrying you through the ship behind you as you leave.
Cool. Let's go.
Yeah.
No
Look,
time but the present.
There is a
baby.
lot of character stuff there. There is no time.
No. Let's start to. Ooh.
What does it say? A desperate plan. Peak is desperately looking for a way to combat both the coming flux event and the Shadow Protocol infecting the station.
Okay, so this is just planning. We have to devise a strategy.
Yeah, the next flux event is coming and it can't be stopped. The sooner your preparations are complete, the better the outcome.
All right then, let's get started.
So
yeah.
We've got this, and then we have to.
Yeah.
We have to. Yeah.
Any negatives? Wait, let's see what is it just minus energy or something like that?
Yeah, minus energy.
Eat food just in case? Oh,
Yeah,
it's a neutral, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Peak is tirelessly analyzing the flux data and testing countermeasures on the Shadow Protocol. They need your help. Okay, come on.
Neutral, yep.
Damn.
I almost could have done it in one if we got all.
I know. There, it could have been. It was possible. Damn. All right, fine. We'll have 5 dice tomorrow.
Let's go eat some food and repair ourselves.
Yes. Okay, cool. We still have 4 scrap components.
Yep.
There was a sudden, they did a good job of it. I feel the urgency.
Yeah.
I'm very much just like, oh, geez. All right, well, we really got to move. We got to do this. Like,
oh, geez. Oh, man.
oh man, this isn't good. We don't need to do the scrap yet, do we? No.
Do you want to do it? Why not?
Okay, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. And
Just because
that's
I'm
it.
concerned, I actually don't remember. Oh yeah, no, you're right, for sure.
No, we're good, but it's fine. We're gonna do it anyway,
Yeah.
right? So why not do it now? Peak and Ash, what a wonder! That dynamic is awesome.
It's pretty good,
actually.
So much going there that they just aren't telling us.
But they don't need to tell us.
Yeah.
Right?
There's something like, Ash defended Peak for some reason. We don't know what was behind it all.
Yeah.
We just do that 3, right?
Yeah.
And now Peak's realizing that doesn't just have to go along with it just because she saved them.
Sheesh. Whew, okay.
All right, Peak, what you come up with?
Peak beckons you over the wide mess table where they have set up a terminal. The hours of bleary-eyed work have left you both drained, and Peak looks ready to collapse. You slide onto the curved couch beside them, something dark and malevolent filling their screen like an oil stain.
Shadow Protocol.
I'm sick of looking at this thing. That's the dynamic.
Yeah,
That's one of the two. What do you think? Well,
Colonel, I didn't know you were in this game.
the Shadow Protocol.
Oh,
Not
damn.
quite. Peak's eyes seem to glitter in the screen light. This isn't what you think, Sleeper. Not by a long shot. You look again at the screen, leaning in close to the dark curved shape to see its texture. You see whorls and currents like a river, a dark flow unlike the Shadow Protocol's dark tangle. You know exactly what this is. You have swum in this river, almost drowned in its shifting flow. It is the Gardener's Chorus, the dark cloud which blankets the Greenway's networks, the bioorganic morass of a malfunctioning protocol grown vast and strange.
Let's go, the Gardener is fighting
The Gardener! How do you... Have you met them?
Mm-hmm.
I have. Incredible. Then perhaps you won't be surprised by what I am about to propose. Everything I've tried to do to contain the Shadow Protocol has been a failure. It slips through any containment, absorbs any countermeasure. That, unfortunately, is an unavoidable fact. And yet, the eye still spins. The Shadow Protocol is being slowed, partially contained. It is spread across the station as we have seen, but in reduced pockets, in fragments. So I started to look outside of our test cases. Outside of these fragments, we have been poking and prodding in our little lab. And look what I found. Peak taps a key on the terminal, and you realize the screen is showing a recording of the data flow inside the eye's networks, sampled from hundreds of points around the Greenway. You watch as a subtle shift occurs at the edge of the flowing dark curve that blankets the Greenway. Something spreading like an ink stain. Somehow darker than black, it bleeds across. Than the black, it bleeds across. The Shadow Protocol. Now watch. Peak eagerly points at the screen. You see something strange. A fizzing at the edge of the shadow, a sparking, and then it is gone. And beneath, for a moment, a millisecond, you see into the networks of the Greenway. You are reminded of an image you had forgotten. Of pulling a plant from its pot and seeing a bone-white root ball where you expected to see dark soil. The white connections writhe like worms, and then it is gone, the dark flow closing up as quickly as it opened. It dissolved the shadow. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It protected itself. You think back to your meeting with the gardener, to that sense of something old and world and inhuman to its core. Peak excitedly starts to explain. This is the only chance we have, the only countermeasure we have seen. In the moment it opened, I detected something. A centralized intelligence with a local ID Gardener. This protocol, this system, whatever it is, can protect its network from the Shadow Protocol. But if it stays in the Greenway, the eye will still fall. The station's systems are too exposed, too spread across the hub, the shipyards, the spokes. The only way is to break it open. To spread the entity's network across it. To spread the entity's network...
Wait, the only way to break it is to break it open. To spread the entity's network I think there's supposed to be a comma here to spread the
entity's network, access it, expand it somehow. Thank you. Okay, that one wasn't me. Thank God.
That was weird. Yeah.
It's not like I don't think. Well, okay. Let's talk about the gardener really quick, right? From our estimation, it was a way for us to escape.
Yes.
It was a way for us to become one with the eye.
And we know that it's creating things that help specifically us as a sleeper.
Yes. But we also know that way back when, it created things that specifically helped the people.
Yeah.
So it seems like a non-malignant entity that is about the preservation of the eye.
Yeah, I'm down.
You want to let the gardener out? No, I've been inside there, Peak.
Yeah.
And this gardener, can they help us? You try to remember what that strange being said to you, but all you remember is the feeling of dissolving into that network. The Hedi? Is it Hedi? I can't remember. Hedi mix of growth and decay, the ceaselessness of it. Would they protect the station? Or would they simply dissolve it? They might,
yeah.
Peak stands up and walks away a little. They lean against the countertop, their head hanging so low that their long hair touches the work surface. You hear them breathing deeply. I don't know, Sleeper. I really don't know.
It's a chance.
It's a chance. Maybe. They shake their head. You know as well as Peak that this is it. You know it because over the past cycles you have run every simulation, every possibility you could think of and still come up with nothing. You have stared a hole into your screen and dreamt of that black shadow creeping in at the edges of your vision. Peak recognizes the look in your eyes, the potent cocktail of resignation and anger. The cocktail that has defined our character through all of the things that they have gone through in their time at the Eye. Let's say we do this. What do we need? They begin to answer their own question, thinking out loud. I suppose we'd need to do two things. Find a way to limit or control the gardener's spread, and then
Yo, this is exactly what I wanted. I knew the gardener and the Greenway were like mega important. I'm glad it's showing up in the DLC.
And then reconnect the Greenway. Controlling the spread means preparing the station. Limit the gardener's network to key systems. We don't want it taking everything. We just needed to protect the station's core functionality. Then we need to reconnect the Greenway. Hook it back up to the main line of the network. Those systems we prepared, they should connect, and Gardener will spread along the paths we prepared. At least, that is my theory. But if we don't prepare correctly, the Gardener might not spread, or it might spread to everything. And after that, things might get worse.
Can be worse than total collapse, though?
Don't say it, Sleeper. Peak sits back at the terminal and brings up a map of the Eye. Rotational control at the hub, life support at the free spoke, power routing at the Havenage shipyards. They stab at the map with each one, marking them in red. Then there's the central core. As I understand, it is somewhere on the rim. I need to find it. They push their hair out of their face. We need the Gardener in all these places, but how are we going to do it?
What does transplanting the Greenway mean? Like we're gonna move it like the Greenway around? I don't know if do we need to bait the Gardener's attention?
I don't think we can get its attention.
No, I think that
transplanting the Greenway is the way to go.
I feel like that's better.
Of course. The Gardener needs plants to care for. That is what their protocol dictates. They must have been part of the farming management systems of the Eye back when Solheim built it. We need Greenway plants into those systems. We seed Greenway plants into those systems, and the Gardener will seek them out, protect them. It's a wild idea, but it could work. But we'll need a way into those systems. Havenage have most of them locked down for safety purposes. We can.
Yeah, baby!
Let's go! I know a guy. Someone. Yes,
he is coming back.
Someone in the Havenage Systems team? You nod. After everything he dragged you through, you feel like Feng still owes you.
100%.
Time to pay him a visit. And you know what? Feng is the type of guy to be like, oh yeah, I definitely still owe you. I was wondering when you were going to come to collect.
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, in a way,
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we should pay him a visit. Lead the way. You both leave the ship carried forward by the excitement of the plan and an eagerness to not look at the details too closely. You push any lingering questions to the back of your mind. Time to head to Feng's Bay.
Dude, I am actually so hyped that they're allowing, or they're
bringing
back the choices we made and everything we did to assist with.
I know, because imagine if we don't have these people.
I know.
Right? So where is he? Where is he at? He should be somewhere. Oh. I think I was looking for his
like actual
his
symbol. Yeah, was he a wrench?
Whoa! Feng isn't in their bay and no one in the offices upstairs seems to know where they are. Your lone clue is an out to lunch.
Of course it is.
Feng is never where they say they'll always be and always late. Well, this is no surprise. Now is not the moment for wasting time.
All right. It's 2 per. Easy.
Yeah, actually easy. Okay, cool. So we can do this on this cycle.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe we'll get a good enough roll to use. A 4 would be delightful.
Yep. 3's fine.
Fine enough. You dig around Feng's Bay and find some notes that mention the flux. What is he work?
So of course
he wouldn't.
Yeah.
He wouldn't.
Guys,
see
the systems are weird.
Guys, the systems are really. This is odd.
I don't like this.
Oh, I think I gotta find the sleeper again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. That's it. No more wasting time. Peek sighs and pulls out their slate. They crack open a box on the side of the base shutter and wire the slate to what's inside. Maybe your friend has a Havenage passcode or something inside. Something you wouldn't mind if we borrow. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Let him cook. We haven't got time to wait. Coming here was a mistake. After a few tense moments, the shutter jerks and begins grinding open, the noise making you jump. Let's get inside, quickly. You slip into the dark of the bay, punctuated by the blinking lights of Fang's piles of servers, somehow even more disordered than before. Peek makes a beeline for the desk at the center, scattered with tools and components. They flick on a lamp and stare at the mess. Are you sure this person can help us? Yes! You were interrupted by the sound of footsteps from the entrance. Someone is coming behind you. Peek freezes.
Hey.
I could swear I closed this shutter when I left.
He's back.
He's back, man. Fang leans on a stack of servers near the entrance. Must be getting forgetful.
I like going sloppy.
Fang!
Fang!
The very same. Fang smiles. Fang raises an eyebrow. Thought you'd come rob an old friend? Is that the plan?
Hey, we need your help, man.
Yeah, we need your help. You're here about the flux. Peek nods and is suddenly giving Fang their full attention. Fang smiles, pleased with himself. I guessed as much. I saw changes in the old system architectures almost immediately. Some of them have been running since the first days of the station, and so when I saw new patterns, shifts in logic, I knew something must have happened. These past cycles, I've been doing a total inventory of the core systems, from the hub to the rim. I was surprised myself, to be honest. I didn't think I had it in me. Peek seems unamused. And what did you find? That's the thing. There's something all twisted up in the systems and protocols, but every time I look at it, it disappears, Peek finishes. Do they always do that? Peek ignores him. It's a shadow protocol. It masks itself somehow, bedding into the gaps between the systems in the negative space. It is slowly filling every system in the station, slowly taking over, and we need to stop it. You need to grant us access to all the core systems of the station. Rotational control, life support. Fang holds up a hand. Whoa. Slow down there. I don't even know your name. And you're asking for the keys to the castle? Can't be done.
Fang, it's me, come on.
Fang, it's me. Fang pauses and glances between both of you. How long have you known this one, Sleeper? I know I owe you, but I also know that you trust too easily. Sorry to say it. Peek cuts in. I can vouch for myself. I came to the Eye on the run from the XPR colony Hawthorne with the intent to keep running until we hit the Starward Belt. But since I have been here, I have done everything in my power to protect this place. I've helped to stabilize the refugee flotilla, to investigate the flux, to identify and make a plan to purge the Shadow Protocol from the system stations. Meanwhile, Havenage has done everything to stop and slow these actions. I have proven myself as a friend to the people of this station, not the administration, many times over, and I will not be doubted by someone who wears the badge of this corrupt administration. Whoa, This is a different Peek.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like this look on them. It looks good. Peek fixes Fang with a hard look. This...
I mean, damn, that's all I got, though.
Hey, man, this is all I have in my wardrobe. Look, I have no love for the council either, friend, but someone has to run this place, and that someone is me. Fang walks over to the workbench where you are both standing and digs a slate out of the pile of tools. You want to prove yourself? Show me. Peek grabs the slate and you recognize the tangled form of a flux node on the screen. Peek immediately starts tapping away at it, its tendrils unwinding, and the shadow, just slightly delayed, slipping out of sight. Interesting, he says to himself. Before long, Peek has unfolded the system completely and it lies splayed out like an unwound ball of string. At the center, with nowhere left to hide, is the dark stain of the Shadow Protocol, visible for all to see. What now? How do you kill it?
I'll let Peek.
There's one entity on the station that we have seen purging the Shadow, the Gardener. Who's that? Some Greenway hacker? More like an avatar of the Greenway itself. You explain the Gardener to Fang, the feeling of descending into the flowing river of consciousnesses. You explain the networked chorus, the non-human collective of voices. You tell him of the farming AI's offer to you, to be networked into the chorus, dissolved in its flow. It's cool, we're connecting all of these different things.
This is exactly what I wanted.
Dude, what if we get a Smash Bros. Everybody is here?
That's what I'm hoping.
Can you imagine?
It's like, oh, everyone's hungry. Memphis shows up. I got you guys. This will be a great story for later.
I don't think we can go on. We need food. There is no need for you to fret.
Yeah, I have come prepared.
Here are
your little lunchboxes.
I've cut the sandwiches into the shape of
Each
triangles.
has a nice note.
Then you explain that by granting it access to the Eye's major networks, you hope to reinforce them. Fang is silent for a moment. You want to let this thing out? That's the kind of stupid plan I dream up.
All right, then.
I like it. This place is rammed with weird protocols and forgotten intelligences anyway. What's one more ghost in the machine?
It's true, we also have the navigators kind of futzing around.
Yeah, I know. The navigator and the killer.
Killer's locked up.
Yeah, but like still, it's there. It exists.
We can use it for the Shadow Protocol.
Imagine what if the gardener accidentally lets it out?
That's sick. Kill the Shadow Protocol. What if it fixes it and then uses it to kill the Shadow Protocol?
And then it kills the gardener.
No. Gardener's too strong.
We try to limit it, of course. That's why we want your help to access the Eye's major systems, to seed some of the gardener's spores into them, to draw the gardener's focus to those places. I wish I could whistle. Can you whistle? So the way we save the Eye is by growing mushrooms in all the server stacks? Sleeper, congratulations. You have found someone weirder than you.
Oh, that's nice.
Pete goes to argue, but Feng holds up a hand. And in it is an all systems Havenage pass card with his picture on it. Take it before I change my mind.
Thanks, man.
That's
it? Fuck.
That's it, homie? That's it. In all honesty, Sleeper, I was on my way back here to start tearing the place down. The Shadow Protocol had me spooked. So if you're telling me you've figured a way we might fight it, no matter how crazy, then I'm glad to help. He smiles a tight smile.
Yo, come with us, homie.
Come with us, man. No, Sleeper, I have to keep on with my work here. Strengthen those systems, back up the data. The worst comes to the worst, I'll need to rebuild. I won't let this place die. The last pieces of my parents are here, among the data.
Hey, goodbye, Fang.
Goodbye, Fang.
Hey.
Fang embraces you firmly. Stay slave. Oh!
Slave?
Stay safe, Sleeper. You take the card and leave the bay with Peak. Once you're outside, they stop you. We should split up. We've wasted enough time as it is. Head to the facilities in the hub, the Free Spoke, and the far side of the shipyard. See the gardener there. I'm going to find the core control center that's somewhere on the rim. They hold up their slate. I'll send you a message on your slate when I have something. Good luck. They squeeze your shoulder, and you exchange fearful looks. You know deep down that Peak isn't sure this will work, but they've decided to act, to move with confidence, and for that confidence, you are very thankful.
Okay, what do we have to do?
So we've got power routing. We need
spores.
Yeah, because we need to.
Let's go.
We need to bait it over here. Implanting greenway spores into the system here should bait the gardener into extending their protection to this vital system.
Okay.
To have any hope of controlling or limiting gardener's spread, core systems of the Eye need to be seeded.
We need 3 systems to be seeded.
There's one.
In the hub.
Yeah. Oh.
Life support.
It's right under. Yep. And then the last one is
probably upstairs.
Yeah, upstairs. Yeah.
Because everything else in the greenway is accounted for, no?
Correct. Yes,
yep.
Here it is, rotational control. There we go.
Let's go get us some spores. I think we should be able to get 3 with, or to be able to get 2, hopefully, with this 3.
Yes, I think you're right. So, where is it? Our spores are right here, mushroom, and then we got this.
We got +2 to it now.
I know.
All right, give us
2, 1.
That's fine, because
cool.
we need a positive on the next one, and we get 2.
So that means it's fine right now if we go to bed.
Well, yeah, but we might as well plan something. See if something
changes.
Spooky comes up.
Sure.
Do you want to do the one up in the rotation?
Because of
just to avoid having to go through the things.
Oh yeah, sure. Instead of going up and down.
Yeah, that's all my reasoning for it.
All right, so we got to do this one. Seed it with the spores. That's the 1 out of the 3.
Yep. All right.
I just need to eat.
Yep. Let's go to Emphas.
Go to Emphas and do the thing.
Delicious mushrooms.
Here we go.
All right, what do you got for us?
As you leave, the slate Peak gave you chirps insistently. You check and see a message. Found a possible entry to the core facility in the low end. Meet me here ASAP Peak. A blinking marker gives their position as on the Free Spoke side of the main block. Better head to the low end.
Where we're at.
Here we go. Okay. You arrive at the coordinates given by Peak's slate, a rundown but active corner of the low end, where a short, glass-roofed alley turns off from one of the main thoroughfares. You wait in the mouth of the alley, leaning against the wall and watching the street life go by. Children hop across grids scratched into metal floor plates, playing games of their own devising, while older residents sit and talk or play tavla. It is hard to believe that all this is at threat. It seems so concrete, so real. How can some intangible protocol erase all this? As you're watching, a voice calls out to you from one of the tablet tables set up along the way.
Castor? Yeah, there he is.
But we didn't help him.
No, but he figured we made the right choice, though.
Yeah. You move a little closer and recognize the sitting player immediately. Castor sits, tablet pieces and board ready in front of him, smiling at you. Sleeper, my partner has not arrived for our usual game. Come, please, take her place. He beckons you over, standing and nudging you to sit down with him. A rematch is in order. You owe me a game. Almost immediately, Castor begins the game. Everyone in the Eye knows how to play tavla. The methodical movement of the counters across their triangular points are already fit for the rhythm of life on the ramshackle space station. Most games begin in the same way, with each player moving with independence, focused only on achieving their optimal early game setup. Man, it sounds like just you.
Why is focused spelled like that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But there's a moment in each game where it becomes necessary to notice the other player, to anticipate the crossing of the counters across the board. A point of contact, when routine becomes negotiation, and negotiation becomes conflict. As this moment arrives, this subtle shift in the texture of the interaction, Castor begins to speak. I find myself surprised by you, continually, Sleeper. The way you conduct yourself, for example, suggests an anxious refrain, a defensive protective quality. But in your Tavla game, I see only risk.
You been watching me, homie?
Let's not be paranoid. You are aware of my interest in you, are you not? We are.
Yeah.
Risk is of course necessary to play Tavla. To move a piece is to expose it. But it should be done with calculation, with proper analysis. Then, if the piece is taken, caster moves a counter, taking one of yours with a practice swap, placing it beside the board. It is already accounted for. But you move forward with abandon, as if risk was just a secondary effect of action, a consequence, not its primary guide. A cause. I play my way.
Yeah.
Indeed, that is all I seek. This locks you into being reactive, if you don't mind me saying so. You are responding, which means you are being led. He's kinda right.
Yeah.
This place, it mirrors you, Sleeper. It is also reactive. It was born from a crisis, the collapse of Solheim, and ever since it has been reacting without any central guiding principle. No analysis, no calculation. Just look at our refugee crisis, for example. It is all reaction, all risk-taking, and little risk calculation. At first, I found the chaos enlivening, especially when trying to track its outcomes, but now I find it exhausting. It always amuses me that this place is literally spun from the rim. Below this very stack of habitation blocks is the most important control facility on the Eye. Spun from the rim. What better metaphor could you find for disorder? But why am I telling you that? That facility is precisely why you are here. He smiles an unsettlingly warm smile. You feel a shiver through your body as if something has changed in the air. What is this?
Yeah, what is this, huh?
No words come out of your mouth. You feel removed from yourself, watching from behind frosted glass. Your eyes dart side to side, inertia sets in, Castor is still smiling. The risk you are planning to take here, Sleeper, is not yours to take. Castor's tone is unshifted. He speaks as if this is still some casual conversation between passing acquaintances. You are leaping towards a chaotic outcome with no respect for risk. You see, calculating outcomes, that's my specialty. That's why I am here. I was hired as a conduit for risk, as a collector of data that might pertain to its arrival. He removes his glasses to clean them, and you see something flicker across their surface, a shimmering stream of characters.
Sick.
This system, this station, is already theirs. Solheim's collapse meant a corporate fire sale. Assets changed hands. My employers, Senate bought out the entire system, and for the past decades have been its one valid owner. He polishes his glasses diligently. But to possess this system, the H1 system, Hellion to you, well, that is a matter of risk, of how much force, how much cost, how much conflict a clearance would take. That risk must be calculated against a favorable outcome. In short, how much is this place worth to us? For a long time, the answer was nothing. H1 could offer nothing that would warrant the risk, but the markets change, the demands shift, and Senate we analyze, we follow, we respond. H1 is about to become the most important system in this part of the galaxy, the lone CAN channel operating within range of 7 or so newly surveyed resource-rich systems, the frontier town that feeds the gold rush, so to speak. So here we are, reevaluating the risk, reclaiming our property, starting up the CAN channel and clearing the way for what comes next. Your move. This is a non-starter. Let's get as much information out of him as we can. Senate is causing the flux? Castor looks a little surprised. Senate is acting to reclaim their property from illegal occupation. To reestablish H1 as a foremost colony of the surrogacy program. Of course, I do not need to explain myself to you, but in the role as an analyst in my calculations, I see great promise in you, and your ability to enter systems, to shift them to your will. Not every sleeper has this capacity, I assume you know that? It truly is a wonderful happenstance of SNRP's technology. I imagine even they are not fully aware of it. He takes his move, claiming another of your pieces, and as you watch, you realize the inevitability of his victory. I will make you an offer, to come willingly or come by force. This station will collapse, we can be sure of that, but your ability to work with data, well, for an analyst, that is very intriguing. Very intriguing indeed. Come with me as a collaborator or as a prisoner. Consider the risk, on one hand, almost certain death, on the other, a possible future. Analyst or not, you must see it. Speak now, Sleeper. The game is forfeit. You must see that. You are of value. You are needed. You feel a slight release in the inertia that grips you, enough to allow you to speak, to respond. You realize that you are already in Castor's hands, that you cannot move from this place if you wanted. Sleeper? You hear the familiar voice above the crowd. Sleeper, I'm here. You aren't able to turn your head to see Peak, but you notice Castor's eyes following them as they come up from behind you. Then you see Castor's eyes glance down towards his hands concealed beneath the table. Sleeper, we were supposed to be meeting, remember? Sorry, am I interrupting something? Castor shoots Peak a wide smile. Hello, you must be a friend of Sleeper. You watch one of his hands lift close to his body, some dark shape concealed in it. A weapon. You try to scream, to shout, but Castor's attention remains partially on you, and while it does, you can do nothing. What's happening here, Sleeper? They put a hand on your shoulder. Are you okay? As Peak stares into your eyes, you see Castor behind, his hand lifting, the dark object unfolding. And in the split moment it does, you feel his attention shifting to Peak, shifting away from you. And you do feel the inertia lifting, and as you do, you feel the inertia lifting, and you know this is the only moment you will have to act. Shove. You lurch forward wildly like a sprung trap. Your head strikes Peak's chest and then carries them back into Castor. Somewhere, some digital screech is echoing through the walkway. They tumble together and the object in Castor's hand skitters across the floor. You realize the screech is you. You get to your feet, grab Peak, and run. You run as hard as you can, the scream chasing you down the walkway as you shove through the residence, Peak dragged behind. You run from the cold grip of whatever power Castor had over you, the signals that locked into this body of yours, that broke the connections and crawled up your spine. Eventually, you stop, both you and Peak collapsing, heaving, breathing into the cold metal floor. When they're able to speak, Peak asks you to explain, and you tell them everything Castor told you about Senate Stat, about their claim on the Hellion system, their reactivation of the CAN channel, the Hellion system's growing importance. It flows out of you in desperate gulps, unable to believe your own mouth as you hear these words coming back to you. All you feel is the need to push back against the cold hand on your shoulder. The vast, cold eye that is turned to look at this system, the ghost limbs of corporate control that are extending their reach. Peak is quiet for a long time. Then they speak. We have to finish this, Sleeper. We have to complete the seeding of the systems. We have to set the Gardener free.
Dude, I'm with you, homie.
Yeah, you're right. If the choice is between Gardener and these people, I would choose Gardener every time. I would choose anything over them. Time's almost up. This is the only shot you'll have.
You missed a line, but that's okay.
What did it say?
Like you stand together firm, something, something.
Oh, sorry. Wow, I super just straight up missed it?
Yeah, you just clicked twice.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
So now we have to...
Crack the facility. Hack facility. There are power terminals in the derelict part of the low, and accessing them is dangerous, but will be faster than wandering. Explore facility. To find the core of the facility, you'll need to trace a path between Peak's backdoor entry and the derelict levels below. Imagine if we tried to do this while everything else was going on.
Yeah, right?
You imagine?
All right, let's get to it, huh?
The facility Peak has led you to is decaying derelict, but they promise the core is still active. You just have to find it.
It's weird that it says that this is, like, better for us. In terms of, like, you would assume it would give us more pluses, because this is minus conditioning for failure. Well, that isn't.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. They're both danger
anyway.
They're
both +2s, which is odd to me.
They're both danger anyway, so... Alright, well, there we go. Nice.
Should
we just try do this one anyway, just to see if there's anything different that happens?
Sure.
Still a +2. Do we risk it?
We have, how much scrap? 3? Yeah.
Yeah, we have stabilizer too.
Yeah.
Give us our positive, huh?
Give us a neutral. Neutral.
Fine.
Energy is fine.
Fine enough. We have to utilize all our dice.
Yeah.
It's all we got, really. This is intense. I didn't think that Castor would emerge as a villain, but I'm kind of glad that he has.
I was about to say, I feel like Castor's one of the weaker characters in the base storyline.
Yeah.
He like arrives as like a supporting character for another quest, or like, and then he comes in at the end for Lemon Mina and shows him to be a bit more.
But it also makes sense because he's like a.
He's definitely from the shadows.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
But I was hoping for something more, so I'm glad that we got this out of it.
Yeah, so we got this, and then we
got some 5s and 6s to spend on it.
We might as well. Let's dump these first.
Why?
Because because we can re-roll them.
Yeah.
Also, it says continue.
It does say continue.
Should we just finish it first?
I mean, this is probably like a halfway through we talk to people kind of thing. So let's hit continue, and then we'll go through the conversation. And then we can eat food, because if you get neutral, we're gonna lose energy again.
Okay. Sleeper, here. This is it. It has been a long set of cycles hunting for a path through the derelict layers of old Solheim offices and workshops. So finally, here it is, the path down to the core. You rush over to Peak. As you do, the doors grind open, the dingy-looking elevator flickering as they do. You look at Peak, who nervously gestures for you to get in.
Let's just step in, yeah.
The elevator bounces a little but stays stable. You glance back to see Peak watching you nervously. Just a little nervous. Peak reaches over and punches the button for the lowest level, flinching a little as the doors grind closed. The elevator sets off, screeching through the floors as it does at an unsettlingly loud volume. I'd feel more comfortable if we spoke. It's not going to be a short trip. Well, that's not what we want to bring up.
No, I mean, not to them.
Have you heard of Senate Stat?
Yeah.
Maybe, once. Could have been mentioned in an XPR news packet, the kind the Central Administration sent out to us. Something about market analytics, I think. When you've spent so much time trying to forget your past, this stuff isn't easy to dredge up. Great question, Sleeper. Really takes my mind off things. They shake their head. What does it matter? We haven't got much of a choice at this point. I'd rather be doing something. Ask me something.
Yeah,
well, maybe we should have let this for last. I was thinking more like small talk, elevator talk. She's packing. Once Ash has set her mind on something, well, you know her now. You know what I mean. Can she be persuaded to stay? I doubt it. I really do. She left her life behind to take me out of XPR, out of Hawthorne. I can't imagine her settling for just anywhere.
For just anyone?
To be honest, I can't see her letting me stay either, but I guess things have changed. Back then at Hawthorne, I wasn't in a place to know what to do. I was desperate. I was ready to run. But now I feel done with that. Done with denying my past, my history. If I ever want to feel complete, to feel settled, don't I need to somehow resolve the person I was with the person I am now? Pete goes quiet and you do too. There are too many possible questions, too many possibilities before you. It just seems easier to get on with the task at hand and leave the consequences for later. The elevator screams to a stop and the doors ping open with a strangely cheerful beep. You glance at Peak. Time to move on. You both walk out into an atrium, still lit by some ragged-looking light panels on the ceiling, one simulating a summer sky, now degraded into a flickering blue and white tapestry of glitches. Pete crosses quickly, making a beeline for the large doors on the far side where you can make out a fading sign in massive peeling letters, Central Control. You follow, helping them lever open the partially powered doors until the motors kick in and they spring to life, thudding open. You and Peak tumble through across the damp metal. As you stand, you are greeted by flickering lights, thousands of them. A vast cylindrical stack of servers, processors, and transmitters dominates the center of the room, its flickering LEDs reflected in the scattered puddles that surround it. Despite the decay, the warped panels and water leaks... Wow, wait. Despite the decay, the warped panels and water leaks, it is still running, just as it has for decades and decades since the station was first spun up. You wonder how long it has been since anyone has been in this room. You exchange wide-eyed looks with Peak. This place is a still living piece of history.
Yeah, what now, huh?
Peak takes a handful of mulch out from a small bag. It glitters with spores. Now we see this place. They cross to the server and start packing the mulch deep into the machinery, pushing fistfuls deep into the gaps in the paneling, laying it across hardware. As you watch them doing this, you feel a tug, a thread pulling at you. You approach the vast piece of cylindrical hardware that Peak is stuffing mulch into. You run your hands across its plated metal surface and watch the lights blink in response. As you pass, you hear a whirring, like a physical disk drive starting up.
Do we lean closer, or do we listen?
We listen.
Sure.
The whirring shifts alternating. Is it Navigator?
I hope it is.
Speeding up, slowing down, and as you listen, you hear it modulate into a voice. Sleeper, you are here. For a moment, you are afraid, but something in the tonality of the voice is familiar. Navigator, let's go!
I was hoping you would be here.
Another drive spins up and another, giving the voice a richer, multi-tonal sound. I had forgotten what it felt like to speak like this. There is a certain quality to it, a certain physicality. What are you doing here? The drives squawk in unison. Did you imagine the Flux, the Shadow Protocol, that they were just a problem for the people of the station? They are all the more dangerous to us. I have been in hiding once more, jumping from network to network to avoid the Shadow as it eats up nodes. I had thought my hiding days were done. For the moment, I have found myself a safe haven here in the core. The Shadow has yet to breach this facility, although that is a temporary state of affairs. My predictions do not point to good outcomes. We have a plan.
Yep.
You explain to Navigator about Peak's plan about Gardner's resistance to the Shadow and how by seeding key systems you will protect them from its advance. The drives hum thoughtfully as you speak. A desperate plan, but appropriate given the probability of total collapse. I am not sure what will be worse for us, hiding from the erasure of the Shadow Protocol or the assimilation of Gardner. But we owe you our freedom. I will do what I can to guide the Gardner into the systems you have seeded. It is correct to do so.
Hey, be careful, homie.
Be careful. The drives squeak in affirmation. You have notable persistence, Sleeper, even with such poor probabilities of success. I will be curious to see the outcome. This cannot be sustained much longer.
No. I'll be fine.
Go, I will be fine, yeah. A final squeak of affirmation, and then the drives skitter and slow to a halt. You step back from the towering cylinder, staring at this vast piece of Solheim hardware. This whole place is built from ghosts, you think. From old protocols and company hardware. From engines that drove decades of corporate expansion. Is the eye proof that they can be shifted, bent, forced into new configurations that allow for new ways of living? Or is its inevitable collapse proof that these engines of expansion can never be anything other than a corrupt foundation? It seems to depend on who you ask. Done! Peak's shout breaks your line of thought. The heat and dam should help this spores germinate quickly. If we're lucky, there's enough time for some growth before we reconnect the greenway. That's it. All the facilities seeded. We either just ensure the eye's survival or stuffed a whole lot of soil into one of its most important computers.
Let's see what happened, huh?
Shall we go? One last look. You wait for a moment. Following the blinking lights, you wonder what might be tucked away in such a structure. What secrets it might hold. What histories. It's an intriguing prospect, but while you watch the lights, you realize something. If the eye is to become anything more than an offshoot, a temporary structure, it must form its own history, its own stories, stronger than anything that came before. Unlocking these Solheim secrets won't do that. But the persistence, the stubborn drive to survive that is in the veins of every person in this place. That will. And that is what you are trying to save. You turn your back on the core and follow Peak back into the elevator. As you ride the car back up, Peak raises their voice over the screeching. I'm going to the Founder's Gap to finalize the connection. The moment I'm ready, I'll let you know and we let the gardener out. The sooner the better. If we wait until the final cycle, it'll be too late. If we want to help speed things up, go work with the flotilla. We can't make the connection until we know they are ready to go. Unleashing Gardener could affect them too if we aren't careful.
This'll work.
This'll work. Peak nods, opens their mouth to speak, and closes it again. You ride the rest of the way in silence. When you reach the top, you go your separate ways, but before you do, Peak embraces you, bearing their face in your shoulder. You stand there together for a moment, spinning with the eye, moving relentlessly towards an unknown future. And then they let go and slip away. The pressure of their hug fading like a bruise as you begin to leave.
So do we not have to do all of it? Click on it again. Because maybe that was supposed to be +3 and it just didn't showcase
No,
it
I
properly?
think maybe... Actually, I can't tell.
I don't know.
I can't tell.
Because we found the core.
We did.
Alright, I guess let's do the other things and then...
If we have to come back to it, we can.
Yeah. That's odd. You want to spend it our drive, our points?
Yep. I mean, we
there's
got
nothing
this. How unfortunate.
Yeah, probably not going to get that +2 on there, but that's alright.
Yeah, who knows? Let's...
We already did.
Oh, I thought they were still... Wow, I thought they had come back in all that time. Just feels like it's taken forever.
Yeah, so let's go...
Oh, let's eat. That's halfway, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh.
And that's because we're halfway.
As you stop to rest in one of the Pilgrim Seed's cavernous bays, hopping up to sit on a supply crate, you hear a now familiar voice behind you.
Sleeper, I'm glad you're here.
Soul's suit hisses as he clanks up towards you.
I knew you'd help us out. We sure do appreciate everything you do for us.
No worries, man.
I do mean it, Sleeper.
He looks away down the bay to where sparks jump from welding torches.
It's a grim job to be doing without a few friends around.
Soul settles beside you, flinching a little but making himself comfortable on the crate.
Seems the word got out, this way or that. We've had people flowing in from the eye looking for a place. In truth, it's more than I thought. Which means more mouths to feed, more bodies to house, more people to protect.
Can we do it?
We'll do what we can, as always. I'm not sure any of it can be enough. We were supposed to stay here, not keep running. Don't listen to me. Just a tired old man. I have something to ask though.
I'm already helping!
yeah,
no,
no,
what is it,
yeah.
man? What is it?
With all these evacuees, well, we need a change in plan. Pilgrim Seed can't do it alone. We need the others to help out.
Hell yes.
We can carry them, house them, but that's all. Now, you settle down the folks remember step. And they sent us supplies grown in those dust houses of theirs. If we could get more, then the song crews. What we need from them is scouting and security.
Yes.
We don't need that docking access of theirs, but with some careful scavenging, they could be our fleet.
Dude, it's all coming together.
Yeah, right?
These folks, they know you, Sleeper. You earned their trust already. I sent my requests out, and they seem to be complying, but I need you out there making sure the work gets done. Time is our greatest enemy now. I need you out there, speeding things up.
Of course, man. We can do it.
Alright then.
He climbs off the crate, his suit hissing as he does.
Think of it this way. Either way, you won't have to deal with me much longer.
He smiles his uneven smile.
Unless, of course, you're planning to come along for the trip.
Yeah, I feel like no matter what, we're staying.
We're
right?
staying.
We're staying no matter what.
We have committed to this.
I understand.
Soul waves a hand and starts off towards the bay's entrance, the crackling sound of the welding quickly covering up his clanking suit. You watch the workers, the shipyard contractor, chatting among them, already looking like he belongs. You push the thoughts of escape, of home, and of the future to the back of your mind and get up. There's always more to do. You better head to the other ships in the flotilla to see what can be done.
Alright, so we have to help finish that up. And, oh,
Aki and Peter
have their own conversations.
Holy crap. Oh my
A
god.
lot of things going on.
A lot of things going on. Lots of... It's gonna be a long episode.
Yeah.
I knew you'd come. Aki greets you outside the dust house, her eyes as bright as always. You are very welcome here, as always.
Good
to see you, Aki. And you, Sleeper. Walk with me. And she guides you past the dust houses. You look inside and see other members of the crew working in the orange dust, planting and tending to the STEP ecosystem. We are to be the suppliers for the evacuees, I am sure you have heard. We will put the dust houses to use. She leads you past the dust house where the dust is less, the orange glow not as bright, the air a little more clean. We are adapting slowly, but we are adapting. We have to produce food, clothes, necessary things for the journey ahead. The plants of STEP are once again sustaining a population, and that makes me proud. Aki stops at a half-empty dust house scoured of its sand. It is being filled with mulch. We brought this from the Greenway. She stares at the green and brown, a strange sight even to you, now that you are used to the amber dust of STEP.
I'll protect it.
I admit, it is hard work for us. We are not familiar with these plants. Can you help us?
Do my best.
Thank you. We are pledging ourselves to everyone, but we've got dice.
Yeah,
we've got dice. We're not a person.
Yeah.
We're a sleeper, but we are a person. But like we've got the capability.
Exactly.
Thank you. I know that the eye is suffering, that it is at risk. I know what it is like. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a lesson to share with you from our loss on STEP, but for the moment I cannot see what that might be. If it gives you meaning, the work here is steady and worthwhile. But if you do not have time, I will not blame you. Hold on to your memories, but not too tightly. Sadness will not sustain you.
Sick.
She falls silent and you both watch the work in the dust house for a while. You can already see a greening fringe of moss on the mulch in the dust house, the first signs of new life. Will you soon be like the people of STEP leaving behind a home? Or will you be stubborn and hold your ground despite what it might mean?
Yeah.
You wait a little longer with Aki, the moment of welcome suspension in time, a rare moment in this rush towards an end. You glance at Aki and she puts a hand on your shoulder in solidarity. After a short while, Aki sighs. It is good to see you, Sleeper. Perhaps we will see each other again before we depart. She walks away, fingertips brushing against the glass of the dust house windows. Aki turns back for a moment as if she wants to say something, then thinks better of it and turns away. So what do we have to do here?
So, greening the STEP. 2 for each.
Yep. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, greening the STEP and what? Harvest automation. So it's all about just doing all the stuff that we know how to do on the Greenway. And Peter. The docking access is in chaos when you arrive. The staccato burst of welding torches, the shouts of crews gathering, the rapid flow of supplies and kit from dock to dock. You can tell already that news of the flotilla's imminent departure has reached this place before you.
Come to join the Exodus, Sleeper.
Peter approaches you from one of the working crews, a smile on his face and a lightness in his step you haven't seen before. Are you enjoying this?
Refitting our ship, building systems, improvising solutions. That's what half of us live for. You really surprised?
Not at all.
No. Seems you have learned something about us after all. I suppose you're here on Soul's orders again? Nothing Ember's Hearth like to do more than ordering people around.
I'm here by choice.
Yeah.
We would have done it anyway.
Fair enough. Just your timing seems to always be a cycle or two after we get some requests from the Hearth ship. Must be a coincidence. Well, Soul has it lucky anyway. His request for us to dismantle the Axis and be the vanguard for the flotilla's onward journey to the starboard belt aligns perfectly with our plans.
What plans?
To leave this damn place, of course. We've been prepping ever since the cordon collapsed. If we can build our escape and make the Hearth ships think we are complying with their orders at the same time, then it's a 2-in-1 for us. Those idiots will never see it coming.
You're leaving the flotilla?
We are our own flotilla, Sleeper. We aren't going to tie ourselves to Hearth and Step any longer. Why would we? To help them?
Yeah, man.
They're taking on evacuees from the Eye. That's what I heard. So how about they help themselves before they ask us to make the bad decisions? Look, nothing against you or your Sleeper, but we have to get out from under the shadow of Step and Song. And this is the time. We won't let the Flux catch us again. Not a chance.
And for the first time, you see fear in his eyes.
Want to help us make that leap? Grab a torch, talk to a crew. You're welcome to it. Every person here is free to prove themselves.
I'll help when I can.
Just a stop on the road, Sleeper. I'm afraid that's all this was.
Shoosh, oh man.
A lot of space out there for those willing to take it. Hope you'll be around before we go, but if not, stay strong.
And with that, Peter thumps you on the shoulder and heads back to his crew with a purpose, a direction visible in every step of his rapid stride.
And what do we have to do for you, sir? Crew management and reclamation.
Access reclamation.
All to dismantle.
So, is this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So that is 6 positives per, with this one being at
halfway.
So 12, so 15.
Yeah?
15 positives. We have
enough days.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 45 sets of dice.
Easy.
45, yeah, 45 dice.
Well, that's only for this step. There might be more, sir. We'll see if those 2 dice that you wasted come back to bite us.
No! I wasted one.
Yeah, and then you put it, then I said, let's roll, and then you just put it in and immediately hit okay. Without using the positives first, you scumbag.
Shush. It's fine. So now we just need to,
fix ourselves.
Yeah, fix ourselves. And then, sleep, yes. And I think that this is where we're going to end the video.
Yeah, until we get interrupted by somebody right here, Ash, saying, let's do terrorism.
Yeah, right? Someone else who needs our help.
No, dang.
These are fine rolls.
Yeah? Let's make sure it saves. I just said saving if you hit escape. All right.
Okay, so much happened this episode, guys. We're really coming down to the wire. This is it. I'm scared. I hate it.
Yep.
I also love it.
Yeah.
This is really, really good. This is a crazy fun end. People are coming back. We're getting like our Avengers Endgame moments.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's really cool. So we have nothing to do but ride it out and see what we can do. And see if we can make good on the promises that we made to these people. So for now, we hope you guys enjoyed that. We definitely did. And we will see you guys in the next video. So for now, have a good rest of your day and we will see you soon. Bye.